Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark, Sarah, and Pam. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
And today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI, the best plumbers around. And also brought to you by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it. At 5 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com, and remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
We have the pleasure of being joined in studio today by the owner of Collins Carpet Cleaning, Fred Collins. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
We're going to talk to Fred all about Collins Carpet Cleaning and a whole lot more coming up here in just a bit. But before we get there, let's take a look at some headlines for Monday, June 23rd.
The Sun-Journal reports that Auburn Mayor Jeff Harmon confirmed he will run for re-election. The city will elect a full slate of officials in November, with nomination papers for all Auburn seats available on July 7th. Lewiston will elect 4 city council seats and 4 school committee seats to 2-year terms. It's the first official election under its new staggered term format. Mayor Shalene's term will run through 2026.
Data released by U.S. Customs and Border Protection show that 85,000 fewer Canadians visited Maine in May compared to last year. Canadians are boycotting American destinations in light of Trump's tariffs and extreme rhetoric. Since February, Maine has seen a 27% drop in northern visitors, 11% higher than the national average.
The YMCA of Auburn-Lewiston named Brian Curtin as its new chief executive officer. Curtin is described as a mission-driven and community-centered leader with decades of experience in collegiate athletics and youth safety. He succeeds Stephen Wallace, who led the Y for the last 11 years.
This is the last week to visit Mr. Drew and his animals too in the Lewiston Mall location. Mr. Drew is closing the doors to his Exotic Animal Education Center on June 30th to prepare to move to his new home on Route 26 in Poland. For more information, including volunteer opportunities, visit mrdrewandsanimalstoo.com.
Winners of the Maine Moose Lottery were released on Saturday. Check to see if you're a winner at maine.gov.
Now it is time for the weather.
Weather?
Weather.
Weather, weather, weather. Weather, 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 weather. Weather, weather is the best. Is the best. Weather, weather, weather.
You know, Alex is not lying now. Weather is kind of the best.
Right now it is.
Now, yeah.
I see your choice there. My song is more for cloudy days.
That's true.
About that weather. Plenty of sunshine today with a high of 87 and a low of 64. Sunny and hot tomorrow with a high of 94 and a low of 68.
Heck yeah.
Sunny on Wednesday with highs approaching 90.
Sweet.
All Sarah can hear is paddling weather.
Paddleboard, paddleboard,
That's
paddleboard, and paddleboard.
In sports, the Red Sox, well, they stink again. They got Dolly Partoned by the San Francisco Giants. They lost.
9-2-5.
Boston will visit the LA Angels tonight at 9:30. I want our listeners to know that Sarah and Pam did not even rehearse that.
Nope.
That was
Didn't
just,
even look at each other. We just did it.
It was spontaneous and it was magical.
Beautiful.
Kindred spirits.
I know. Peas in a pod. In high school sports, St. Dom's baseball won its 4th consecutive state title with a 9-6 win over Bangor Christian. The Saints program ends with 9 titles in the last 20 years.
And Edward Little's quest for a softball state championship fell short with a 7-0 loss to Wyndham. The Red Eddies surprised everyone by advancing to the title game as the number 7 seed and finished the season with a 13-7 record.
That's pretty awesome.
That's respectable.
So,
for
Yeah.
sure.
Great season.
One of their players lives across the street from me, and for the last 2 months, their cars have just been painted with like Red Eddie's softball stuff on. I'm like, yeah,
I
that's
love
great.
it.
Good
Great,
for them.
Yeah, awesome seasons for both teams.
Yeah.
That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now it's time for the podcast segment. That is
Sweeping!
Twin Cities. Fred, I totally expected you to join in on that. But,
I know.
You know,
Whatever.
whatever.
I'm in amazement over here. Though.
Okay.
Just dumb. He's gobsmack.
Oh, it doesn't take much, does it, Fred?
That happens so often.
Hey, I'm a fan of magic. Simple things amuse me. So.
It is time for famous people birthdays.
There's birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Let's take a look at FPBs for June the 23rd, shall we?
Let's do it.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
Singer and songwriter Jason Mraz is 48 years old today. Mr. A to Z peaked at number 5 on the Billboard 200. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, and his debut studio album, Waiting for My Rocket to Come, spawned the single, The Remedy, that peaked at number 15.
All right.
Also, he was on Dancing with the Stars with
Carrie Ananaba!
Nava.
Okay.
Just like to give you any opportunity to say her name.
I so appreciate that.
I know.
The only reason I tuned in. Frances McDormand is 68 years old today. If you're not familiar with her,
I'm not.
she played the police officer in Fargo that ended up catching the bad guys.
The little pregnant lady.
Well, one bad guy. The other one was kind of in a wood chipper.
Right.
Yes.
Dead.
Spoiler alert.
Unalived. Yes.
Yeah, she was
I don't
great.
even know if I saw that movie.
Ooh.
Oh, Fargo is so good. Highly recommended, Pam.
Well, if it's
Yeah.
good, Mark, why did you watch it?
I know. I didn't
It's
know it was
kind
gonna
of
be good.
weird. Yeah, no, that is sort of strange.
Yeah. I think I watched it by accident.
Yeah.
I couldn't find the remote.
Yeah, couldn't change the channel. Woke up from a nap and it was on.
She's also married to Joel Cohen of the famous Cohen brothers, and they've been married since 1984.
Whoa.
And yeah, she's been
That's
in,
like
A million
75 years in reality TV.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's nuts.
She's been in a bunch of Cohen brothers movies like Raising Arizona,
Oh,
Barton Fink, the aforementioned Fargo,
yes.
Hail Caesar, Burn After Reading, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And she's also achieved the rare Triple Crown of acting by winning an Academy, Primetime, and Tony Award.
Oh, right, because she does some stage acting.
She
too
does.
on
She
Broadway.
does it all. Mm-hmm. Yep.
She was Stella. In
Was
a
she?
Streetcar Named Desire.
All right.
Stella.
I have a new soundbite.
Yeah.
Can't say it without.
You got to use the fist shake because he's screaming in the streets.
And rounding out FPBs for June the 23rd is former American Idol judge Randy Jackson, who is 69 years old today. He was hired by Journey 5 years ago, but he's not with them now.
To do what?
He played
He was
bass.
a bass player.
Oh.
Yeah, played bass with Journey.
I remember the first time I told Mark that he thought I was making it up.
Now he talks about it like,
was like-
he found out that information.
No, I talk about it like I'm reading his Wikipedia page.
That's what we're doing. I just happened to know that random fact about Randy Jackson because he talked about it all the time
No.
on American Idol.
Well, I know he produced Journey, but I never
Yes.
knew he played bass. And he played bass for them in 1986 on their Raised On Radio tour.
Yeah.
Whenever Randy offered feedback to a contestant, he would often say, "It's pitchy.
Pitchy.
Little too pitchy for me."
And he
Pitchy.
called
Dog.
everybody dog.
Yes.
Dog. With a W.
Too pitchy, dog. Get off my stage.
Okay.
Those are your FPBs for June the 23rd. Now let's take a look at some OTDs. It happened on this day. It happened on this day. It happened on this day. Sarah, you know you missed it.
I
Nailed it.
totally missed it. I was gone for too many days.
Yes. I should have sent it to you.
You should have.
You could listen to it at will.
You could just call me and sing it. Let's start with 16 years ago in 2009. The great Ed McMahon died at the age of 86.
Our search, right?
Yeah.
And Johnny Carson.
Carson.
Yes!
Yes!
Oh, you did. You did it so good. 19 years ago in 2006, Aaron Spelling, who was responsible for so many things, shows like Charlie's Angels, Starsky and Hutch, The Love Boat, Fantasy Island, Melrose Place, and Beverly Hills, 90210, and also Tori Spelling. Responsible for that.
He was responsible.
He was totally responsible for that.
That's his fault.
That's all his fault. Unfortunately, died after having a stroke at the age of 83.
He did some good work, though.
He did. Oh my gosh, yes.
Kind of fell off after Starsky and Hutch and the Love Boat and Charlie's Angels.
Did you find Fantasy Island to be absolutely terrifying as a child?
It was weird.
so scary.
Yep.
So scary.
It was weird.
Here's a great one. 36 years ago in 1989, Tim Burton's OG version of Batman was released, starring Michael Keaton. The Batman. Remember that one?
Yes.
I feel like that was my favorite Batman.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson was so good as the Joker, too. Yeah.
Fred, you want to chime in on this? Who's your favorite Batman?
He was really good.
He was.
He was.
Yeah. He was our generation's Batman.
I am the Batman.
The Batman. 38 years ago in 1987, the talent that is Tiffany began her famous shopping mall tour
When shopping malls were a thing.
when shopping malls were a thing at the Bergen Mall in Paramus, New Jersey. What's her famous song?
I think we're alone now.
I think we're alone.
And she didn't even write it.
It doesn't seem to be.
wrote
Was
it,
it a
Mark?
remake?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was one of our favorite songs in our old spot.
Yeah.
We used to-
Pam is grilling me this morning.
Yeah.
Name the movie. Name the song. You bum.
She had
Come on, funny man.
make me laugh. Didn't she have an infamous feud with Debbie Gibson?
Yeah, and then they made a movie.
And then they made one of your favorite movies.
It is titled Mega Python versus Gatoroid.
Yeah.
Was that
missed
feud
that
made
one.
up by the public?
Oh,
and not them?
probably.
Yes,
Probably.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I would highly recommend that movie, by the way.
I have not watched it yet, and
came
I
out.
I will watch it when you watch The Godfather.
Yeah, it came out in 2011. 3 out of 10 stars, which I think is pretty generous. But yeah, check
Your
it
kind
out.
of movie.
It's good. Yeah,
That's the kind
I
of
loved
thing
it.
you like.
I loved it.
Yeah. And 157 years ago, in 1868, Wisconsin journalist and Senator Christopher Latham Scholes received a patent for a magical invention he called the typewriter.
Magical invention.
Magical invention.
Imagine what he would think about our phones.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Mind blown. And that's your OTDs.
Fred, you're a Magic fan. Mm-hmm. Huh? What do you feel about the typewriter?
How do you feel about the typewriter?
It's pretty magical.
Pretty
is a-
impressive, right?
It really
Magical
is.
invention.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And I would have thought it was invented long before that.
Long before 1868. I like a real typewriter. I like the way it feels underneath my fingers when I'm writing.
How do you feel when you make a mistake on a typewriter?
Oh, that's the worst.
Right?
Did you use a typewriter as a kid?
sure did.
We had the little wheelie eraser and it had the little brush on the end. And you had to, yeah.
It's the worst.
It's like our generation spans some some interesting things.
And then they invented whiteout.
Yes.
That was a magical invention.
Yep.
Yes.
Right? You could watch your mistakes disappear.
Mm-hmm. The electric typewriter had the little correction ribbon too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Loved it. Those are your FPBs and OTDs for June the 23rd.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the L.A. area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
We shift focus fully to our guest in studio, owner of Collins Carpet Cleaning, Fred Collins. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Excellent.
Appreciate you guys having me on today.
We appreciate you sitting through whatever that was.
Whatever all of those things were.
It was very informative, and I would like to start my Mondays off like that more often.
Oh, well,
Right.
you can just listen to the show.
What can you tell us about Collins Carpet Cleaning?
We're a family-owned business. I recently bought my dad out at the turn of the year. It was actually started by my grandfather. My mom's dad had a cleaning business. My dad was trying to get out of working in the location he was, started working with my grandfather, bought out his business, got out of the nightly janitorial thing and focused more on the carpet cleaning world and do a little bit of everything. The big thing we've been doing a lot of lately are in-shop area rugs because a lot of people have torn out their wall-to-wall and
Right.
put in a nice area rug. So we've built up a nice facility to properly clean those.
That's one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube is people cleaning very dirty area rugs.
Crazy how much dirt comes out of
It
those
is.
things.
It's
where's it all hiding?
Where did and were you aware of it when you were walking on it in your
No.
bare feet? It's yeah. That's one of my favorite things to watch. I would
Yeah.
come into your store or your shop and just watch you clean carpets.
Yeah, I'll be posting some video later because I'm going to be cleaning some very soiled and very urine contaminated rugs. So it's pretty
Ew.
gross, but at the same time, it's very satisfying seeing all of the stuff
just
come out of
gone.
it. Yeah.
Ugh. It's one of those jobs where your work is very tangible.
Yes,
That's satisfying.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like cleaning carpet that's not really that dirty because it doesn't show that much of a difference, but the type of rugs that I clean, and it's just like when you take a pass and you can see, oh, this rug went from being dark brown to nice and white again. it's very rewarding, and like
Yeah.
you did something.
The face of people when you return it.
Oh, I'm
Like,
sure.
yeah.
People are like, do you ever show them like the dirty water bucket?
I don't, because everything is in the tank in the truck, and I hook up to the sanitary sewer system to drain everything out, so they don't really get to see it too much. But they see when they see what we call the action shot, when it's the before and after, and it's still like a partially clean room. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know it was. Oh, I'm so gross. I didn't know it was that dirty."
You don't realize, right?
Yes.
Like you don't know how gross it is. Ooh.
And you're like, you disgust me.
I'm sure
Like,
that
you're the one that made it look like this, not me.
I'm sure they don't judge. No judgment at Colin's
No,
Carpet Cleaning.
Absolutely not. Whenever anyone's like, "Excuse the mess," I'm like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't messy.
Right.
Right.
Wait.
we survive off messy.
Correct.
So.
Yeah. Make a living doing messy.
So I know it's a family-owned business. Did you grow up with it? Or
I sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up doing it basically as soon as I was tall enough to push the cleaning wand. I was doing it. I remember helping my dad when I was really little. So done it all the way up through, did part-time in middle school and high school and full-time in the summers, went to college, graduated, didn't really go to, didn't continue. I thought I was going to go to some kind of med school, got out and wasn't really feeling it, and just stepped into the business and decided if I'm going to do this, I'd help grow the business. And we did. We expanded. At one point we had 3 trucks and scaled back down to 2 and keeping it going. And it's still family. 2 of my younger brothers work for me. My brother Brandon answers the phone, and my brother Josh is my other lead tech. He either works by himself, or we have a full-time guy that works with us depending what the particular jobs are for that day. He'll bounce around between either myself or my brother.
Did you enjoy it when you were young?
I did, and then there were times where you don't. I mean, that's like any job, but at the same time, when you're a little kid and you're working with your dad, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So
What are the pros and cons of working with family?
there's certainly pros and cons. I mean, the pros is, no matter how the day ends out, everyone's gonna, even if tempers flare like you see on some reality shows with family businesses, that certainly happens in most, but by the next day everything's forgotten. And the cons of that are too, like when you have a bad day and sometimes you just want to go away, you can't tell off family. I mean, I suppose you could, but they're still family, so you're going to have to see them all the time.
I'll see you at dinner. I'm still mad.
Yeah. I'll eat my dinner in my room.
I like that. A reality show for Colin's Carpet.
Oh my
I love it. We can watch them clean carpets and fight. This is the best. The best. Oh boy.
See, everybody's saying it. We need
you.
a sound clip of all 3 of us saying, "Oh boy."
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Growing up in the business, Fred, you must have seen a lot of changes. I remember when I was young, we had wall-to-wall carpets everywhere. And now people I think they're more in favor of area rugs now.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of people have torn up and either put down like a click-together laminate type floor or a hardwood floor. We see a lot of tile and grout, which is nice because, I mean...
That too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've seen which makes me happy is people tearing carpet out of bathrooms. I never knew why bathroom carpet was a thing. I mean, even some places, some of the like mobile homes that put carpet even on the walls in the bathroom. I never understood that, but
Now that you mention it, my grandparents had a ranch and they had carpet in their bathroom.
yeah.
We had carpet in my bathroom when I was a kid.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And just to make everything match, they would put an excess piece on the toilet seat cover.
Correct. Right? Yeah.
That's right.
I never understood that, but yeah, I've seen a lot of changes that, and like you said, kind of the shag carpet now, a lot of it mostly is like a Berber type carpet or like a commercial grade,
Easy to clean.
Correct. Or like I see a lot like here, you've got the carpet tiles. Yep. If you have a really bad stain or something damages it, you can pull it up and put in a new one, which is good. But at the same time, then you'll have a section of carpet that's had life and worn on it, and then you put in a piece that's brand new, so it's nice and bright. So
Oh, you just walk on that one a lot. That's what you
yeah, that just becomes the doormat. So you can just make it catch up to the rest of it.
Just spill your coffee real quick. We have in all of our stores at Lamy Wellahan, we have those not peel and stick, but like they're separate tiles of carpet, and people spill things all the time, so it's kind of nice to be able to pull them out and
Exchange them out.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of stains in here I want to show you before you leave.
Oh, I noticed them when I came in.
Of course
I've got an
Oh,
eye.
no.
I've developed quite an eye for it
I bet.
with about 30 years in the business.
Yeah.
You know.
He walks in with business card in hand.
Yeah.
Regardless.
He just leaves it on the stain of the business
Yeah.
store, and he's like, "Here you go."
That's a good idea.
Just start like a little piece of tape and just like
You
tape
should
it
just
to the
get
stain.
stickers.
Yeah.
Just stick it on the stain. Give me a call.
Yeah. If you want this gone, I can make it disappear.
I can help you with that.
Like
You're
magic.
you're like
Yeah,
a magician.
like
Magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I said, the cleaning instrument, the tool we use, they call it a wand, and I jokingly say it's a magic wand because it makes the dirt disappear.
Right on. What's the nastiest situation
Oh,
you've
boy.
ever seen on call?
I've seen a lot. There's some that I've walked into where it's like, this is beyond anything.
Are you gagging?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've had some where you open the door and they're like, I have an odor issue. And it's like, yes, you do. I
think you're right.
And my wife makes fun of me because, we have dogs and we have kids. And there's sometimes when the messes that they make, I can't even stand. She's like, you're in the cleaning business and you can't stand it all. I was like, I have too sensitive of a nose.
I would have thought you'd go nose blind by now.
No.
To it.
I
Not
wish
at
I
all,
could.
huh?
No, it's like even more sensitive. So yeah, some of the nastiest. I mean, I've seen a lot, and there's some that I've refused. Like I don't do the biohazard cleanup. I've had that offered, and I'm like, nope, that's beyond my
Can't do it.
scope.
That's a different
Sorry.
company.
Big money in that, though, right?
There can be, but there's a lot of risk involved.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done some training into that and never really went, specialized in it, but like a general brush over on it on some of the industry courses I've taken, and it's very involved and it can be a good business, but especially in Maine, it's tough. Like some of these guys that teach the courses are in, like one of them was in Pittsburgh and they were doing a lot of the bio cleanup and, had a fun working relationship with the coroner where he would leave like eyeballs on. I'm like,
Stop.
all set with that. Oh
No, thank you.
that and oftentimes too, when you get into that restoration industry in full, dealing mainly with insurance claims and stuff. I've spoken with some contractors that are owed tens of thousands of dollars because a customer would get the check and instead of paying the contractor, they just blow through it. And wow, yeah. So we focus just on the cleaning because it's usually when we're done, we're paid and move on to the next one. And it's nice too because one of the things that I enjoy most is going to all the different people's homes. And my favorite thing is when I go into a home with a dog. You come in and just get distracted with, becoming
Puppy
friends
love.
with a pup. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dogs are awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
It doesn't take you long to clean a big building either.
No,
what
we're
you
very
have is pretty efficient.
Yeah, we're very efficient. We use machines that are the highest of, the best you can get in the industry. Lots of experience. We use very good products as well, which is a big difference. If you're a professional and you're getting all your cleaning stuff, at least for carpet cleaning, if you're getting your stuff from like a Home Depot or a Lowe's, you're not doing it right. I mean, there is a full chemistry involved. We use products that, my main pre-spray product is a green label product, so it's not very harsh on the indoor environment because you're spraying it down so it's being aerosolized up and you're not breathing in harsh, nasty chemicals most of the time, and rinsing with just hot water steam. And that's a big reason too of why we're able to do a large area in an efficient time. We use very hot water. The vacuum on the machines is very powerful. Typical dry times usually 4 to 6 hours. So, it's not leaving the carpet wet for days on end. I mean, there are scenarios where it can take longer, but it's usually if you're a commercial building on a Friday night and they shut everything down for the weekend. If there's no airflow, then it's not going to dry. But usually it dries very quick.
What advice do you have for homeowners on taking care of and maintaining their carpets?
It's recommended to have them done every 12 to 18 months. You can go more frequently if you need to, but usually once a year is a good rule of thumb. I never discourage anyone that already has like a Bissell or a rug doctor. They're great, but they do have their limitations. The biggest thing I would say, anyone that does that, follow the dilution ratios. Yeah. More soap isn't always better. Oftentimes I'll go to a place where somebody's tried to hit a spot and it looks good, and then it ends up being worse because they're not rinsing out all of that soap. So all that soap that's left behind actually it's like a dirt magnet, so it makes it look worse. And there's even times where when we go to hit a spot like that, it's been hit with soap so much, when I go to steam over it, it foams right up and it kills the vacuum in my truck. So we carry a crystalline foam defoamer to break down the soap crystals and rinse it out, so that those spots are gone and they don't wick back up.
It is magic.
It is. It is.
And that's something like you don't know until you hit it, I would assume.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll see a spot and it's dirty and they've hit it and it'll come out, and then there's times you hit it and it just like instantaneously foams up. You can noticeably hear the vacuum just get
Chug, chug,
destroyed.
chug, chug,
'Cause
bleh.
I often wear headphones or earbuds just to knock down the vacuum noise because it is loud. Most of the noise is contained to the truck, but it's still very loud at the end when you're working. So usually have some kind of hearing protection in.
I know what you could listen to in your earbuds.
Oh, yeah, you could do a podcast.
Yeah, I
Listen
could,
to a podcast.
I could do a podcast.
We could recommend one.
You know one?
I know of a good one.
It's magical.
It's
Magical.
Sarah, Fred's been in your place of employment, right?
Yeah, he's done Collins Carpet Cleaning has cleaned our carpets at Lamy Wellahan for as many years as I've been there, which is almost 16 years. So that's how Fred and I know each other.
Yeah, when she was the manager,
The store manager, yeah.
in Auburn, and now she's worked her way up. She's in the office and
Yeah.
She's
That's
a
where I'm
big
at.
dog.
hidden away.
He still cleans my carpet upstairs in the
We
office.
sure do.
Mine is the really messy cubicle with the food all over the floor. That's mine.
Okay.
She's always having snacks.
That one's mine. If you find a peanut M&M in the back, just put it on my desk. I'll eat it later
Because you know the carpets are clean.
because the carpets are clean.
Wow.
One of
A commercial for
I
you.
know.
Oh yeah.
One of the things I noticed is obviously at Lamy Wellahan, people are trying on shoes. So they're taking off their shoes to try on more shoes. And even after we have the carpets cleaned, people are fine in their socks. Like the carpet is not wet when they're done. Like they do it the night before. We open the next morning at 9. We have fans and stuff running, but it really is amazing that the carpets are so clean and almost dry by the time you're leaving, like which is only 2 or 3 hours to clean. I think it's like 8,500 square feet.
Yes.
So you're doing it right.
Doing something right.
He's got a couple of days experience.
Yeah, he's been. Yeah.
And again, too, stores like Lamy Wellahan, when we get into doing some locations at least once or twice a year, you can kind of figure out a flow to make it work even better.
Yeah. Your guys are also really good because we have obviously fixtures that are heavy and don't necessarily ever move. So they'll pick some things up and put these little squares underneath them and clean underneath, and like they're very good. Your crew is very good.
Thank you. We try to be thorough. Even in homes, people are like, you don't need to move my couch. And I'm like, probably should while I'm here. They'd be surprised how much stuff accumulates.
And they're like, please don't move the couch.
Yeah. And then you move it and they're like,
I'm so glad you moved that.
Oftentimes you find that missing left sock underneath there.
Peanut M&Ms.
Tons of peanut M&Ms.
Dog toy.
Lots of cat toys under my couch.
Yeah.
Lots of
Always cat toys.
Lots. Have you ever accidentally sucked something up in the vacuum?
Oh, yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever sucked up in the vacuum?
A pair of sweatpants.
Oh, wow. A whole pair?
A whole pair. That's how
Adult
strong.
or children.
They were adult sweatpants.
Was someone wearing them at the time?
It's like, they come right off the body.
Yeah. I mean, the vacuum's strong. I haven't tried that yet, but I mean,
But I will later.
I will. Now I have something to add to my bingo card of things to do. While
Somebody
at
to
work.
wear some tearaway pants.
Oh yeah, the Adidas tearaway
yeah,
like sport pants.
Honey, we're going to play a new game tonight.
Yeah, and definitely film that.
Yeah, put it on my OnlyFans.
I was going to say your YouTube channel, but okay.
Collins Carpet Cleaning only for
After dark,
After dark.
which is usually when you clean, so that's kind
Yes,
of apropos.
yes, absolutely. But no, it was vacuuming up just dog hair along the side of a closet, and they had fallen over in the dirty laundry pile, and I saw it, and before I even realized it was and I was like, oh no.
Did you tell them?
I did.
Oh, man, I
did.
would've-
I went down to the truck and had to pull them out of the
Ew.
inline filter.
Yeah.
we have.
They may want to wash these again.
Yeah, you may want to wash these in a little bit of bleach.
Oh. I'm going to take like $15 off their bill for the sweatpants.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. My bad. I owe you a pair of runners.
I owe you a pair of sweatpants.
There you go.
So you do grout and tile as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we basically do. It's essentially a enclosed power washing on tile and grout. I use a different set of products. They're specifically made for tile. That product is not a green label. It's kind of one of the harsher products that I use, but I've tried other ones, and unfortunately, sometimes you just got to go with the stronger chemically stuff for certain applications. So, and it works very well. It doesn't damage the grout unless the grout's already, clearly broken. And when we see that, we're very mindful of it and try, we avoid the areas, let the customer know beforehand, like, hey, there's already some damage. And, like anything, if you're upfront and try and point out any potential issues before, it goes a long way. And like one of the things that I always strive on to is, we've got a schedule. And if I'm running late for something, I always call a half hour, an hour before and just give the customer, a heads up. And more often than not, it's not a big deal if your communication is key.
Yep.
That's I feel like that's lacking these days in some businesses.
Yeah. And most of the time, it very rarely isn't an issue. And it's simply because they just aren't able to stick around for longer because they only had a certain time, which I understand. But more often than not, when you call somebody, they are happy that they're like, hey, thanks for letting me know you're running behind. It's no big deal. So.
What about hardwood floors?
Yeah, we do a light hardwood floor cleaning, and we do a thorough clean on it, and then we can reapply like a finish to the floor to make it shine again. It gets rid of some of the surface scratches, not the same as a sand and refinish, but more of a maintenance after having had the floors down for a few years. And again, too, on that, let the customer know what to expect from the cleaning and what will come out. Or oftentimes I've had people thinking they see the cleaning and expecting it to be like a sand and refinish, and I'll see a floor that I'll just be honest and say, hey, this is beyond me able to help you. You're going to need to get a hardwood floor refinish on it.
Different service.
Yeah, and another service we do a lot is upholstery cleaning.
Is that a come to you or you come to them situation?
We usually go to them. We do have a service minimum to show up on site in town, but we just did one where they had just one chair, and it was triple what my minimum service fee is, and they brought the chair to me, and I did it for the regular fee for the chair. So it works out well.
He's done our couch, and we have this little table that we move around a lot, and one weekend had a cup of coffee on it, and Lydia, being a bull in a china shop,
A four-legged.
went to jump up on the couch and knocked the table, and this whole cup of coffee spilled on our ottoman. And I was like, hey, Fred, do the ottoman. Why don't you just do all the couch and all the other things? And it came out great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
When you have a pet, there's a million things in your house that could be cleaned.
Oh yeah, yeah. Pets are my number one source of keeping me busy. Just because, if you have a dog or two, they will make the carpet dirtier, but it always cleans up very well because they're not grinding it in like we do with sneakers on, but they just spread it around a little bit more, and then just, when you got pets, your house is going to smell like pets. Not like it always stinks, but you got that very distinct pet smell. So
Particularly this time of year when it's a bit humid and
absolutely.
Or if they go swimming.
oh my gosh. Or if your dog gets sprayed by a skunk.
Yeah, or if your dogs are like mine, they like to roll around in the bird poop to try and
Yeah,
nice.
Lydia's done that too.
That's disgusting.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then I have a
Do you
dog.
wash dogs too?
I mean,
I don't.
can you power wash our dog? He's so stinky still. Skunky dunky.
I only clean animal fur.
Oh.
Not the actual.
Not the actual animal.
Not while it's attached.
Not while it's still breathing.
Yeah.
Got it.
I have cleaned. I did a sheepskin rug a couple weeks ago, so it was literally like a sheep's hide, and I got that cleaned up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that special? Like
It was a little bit special. It was a lot more difficult to clean than
Was
a
it the
standard.
fluffy kind or was it the tight shag?
It was a fluffy kind, still attached. It was on the actual animal skin still.
Yeah. See, I have one of those, and I'm not sure how to clean it.
Well, call Fred.
Bring it
Go
to me.
Fred. Someone suggested just throwing it in the washing machine, and I was like, no.
Probably not.
That may not end out well.
No.
While you were at our house too, you also did a mattress and a fabric headboard. So that was very convenient.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
I hadn't thought of that.
Like, let's do all the things.
Yep.
Very convenient because sometimes those things need to be done.
Absolutely, especially
Mine had
when you
been
have
in storage and stuff, so I was like, why don't we just do this?
Yeah.
'Cause-
Dusty, little dusty.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it came out amazing. It looked brand new. I loved it.
Fred, what are some of the biggest changes in the industry you've seen over your decades of experience?
The biggest things I've seen for change are just actually in the equipment itself. We used to have electric portables were a thing for a while, and then direct drive. So the engine in the van was a PTO to power the truck. We had another truck that it was a true PTO, very similar to farm equipment. And now they've always had them, but they're called a slide-in. So the machine has its own gas-powered motor that powers the machine. And when they were first using those, the heat technology wasn't there. And now they've got the heat exchange technology to that where it's just as powerful, if not, gets hotter than the old style. And when you've got the slide-ins like we have now, because they're running just a small, relatively small 4-cylinder Kubota motor, the fuel savings is there. So you're burning half the amount that you were before. It's less wear and tear on the vehicle's engine, which is great because it's a lot easier to maintain the vehicle just as a standard vehicle would, instead of, oh shoot, I've got this many hours on the machine, this many miles on the truck, so when does that mean I need an oil change?
Right.
And then another problem we had when we were running a bunch of those, they're not always designed to run at basically 25 miles an hour for hours and hours on end. So we would have a lot of issues with the vehicles with overheating, fuel pumps going. So it's a lot less maintenance and upkeep with the equipment, which is, one of those things. You got to maintain your equipment, and it can take a lot of time, and it's not the type of time you want because it's not billable time.
Right.
So
Yep. Anything else about Collins Carpet Cleaning that you would like our listeners to know?
that we're just going to we've been established in the community for decades. Next year will be 40 years in business, and we don't have any plans on moving.
All right. Do you have kids?
I sure do.
Are they cleaning carpets now?
Not yet. No. They have helped me. I've had them come with some commercial jobs and, just lug equipment around for me, bring in like the tools and stuff. Yeah. So, they're not as keen on helping Dad as I was, but, that's fine. I don't hold it against them, but...
Well, you didn't have the internet.
That's true, Dad. I didn't have the internet.
No TikTok. Next year marks 30 years of Uncle Andy's Digest. What started as a beloved print publication has grown into Lydia Media, a full-service marketing partner helping local businesses thrive. From LA Metro Magazine and the Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast to social media management, website design, and advertising across all platforms, we've got your marketing needs covered. If you're a business making a difference in our community, let's connect. Lydia Media is here to tell your story and help you grow. Lydia Media, in business, for business. Learn more at lydiamediallc.com.
This has been great, Fred. As you know, as a loyal listener, we like to close the show with a segment called 3 Random Questions, where we ask you questions that have nothing to do with your profession. We're just trying to get to know you a little bit better. We'll each ask you one, and I'll start. Fred, what is a minor inconvenience that drives you crazy?
Okay. People that turn left from East Avenue onto Sabatis Street. That grinds my gears.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Anyone?
Turn left from.
Yeah, when you're going on East Ave from Russell towards the high school, people that turn left at CVS, that intersection, people will pull out from Rite Aid or Walgreens, pull out and then turn left at that light.
Yeah. That's a tough intersection.
That's the one intersection that grinds my gears because I drive it every day.
Yeah. Their location's right over there.
My shop's right on East Avenue, so my ride from work, if I have to be inconvenienced to wait for somebody to turn left at that light, instead of just staying on Russell and then taking...
Yeah. Why would anybody do that?
I don't get it.
don't know.
Love
Maybe
it.
they're new in town.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I remember sitting there one day and being like, that's not what that's for.
Yeah.
Like watching, why would you don't do that? Because my massage therapist's office is right there too.
If you could change professions with anybody in the world, who would it be or what would you be doing?
I would say just to keep on the ASMR, being a chiropractor. I was going to do that. I backed out, but just the hearing the adjustments, that's just so
the cracking?
the
Satisfying.
Hang around after the show. I'll do my back for you.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a ripple.
All
Yeah.
right, chiropractic.
Chiropractic
All right.
care. I usually ask a weird question, but I won't today. You smell lots of weird things,
Yes.
gross things.
Yes.
What's your favorite smell?
My favorite smell.
Clean carpet.
Right?
No, just real simple, just a fresh cut lawn. It's
Fresh cut. Yeah, grass. That's a good one.
Grass.
Yep. Yeah, that reminds me of my childhood. That mixed with the smell of like two-stroke gas.
Oh, yeah. Two strokes also a very good
Yeah,
smell,
That and fresh cut grass. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's my dad.
Yeah.
That's the smell of my dad.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time this morning.
you.
Fred, we appreciate you. Where can folks go online to learn more about Collins Carpet Cleaning?
Right at our website, collinscarpetcleaning.com. I also have a Facebook page, Collins Carpet Cleaning, Inc.
And don't forget about his OnlyFans as well.
Right. And look out for those YouTube videos of them cleaning dirty carpets. 'Cause
And it's fans as in the piece of equipment, not
Correct.
not yeah,
Right.
Yes.
Only
of course.
fans.
Yeah, we would
Only
never.
fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would.
Because I have a ton of air movers.
I like it.
Thanks to our sponsors, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam Ashby via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com.
Have a great day. And remember, don't bite your cat. And I will say I have bitten my cat.